So today we are recording our mini episode for the Choose Resilience Institute. And I am so excited that I'm here with my friend Elizabeth, and we are co-hosting today, and we are interviewing one of our keynote speakers, and we're going to get the opportunity to interview Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson, please tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to the field of education.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I am first and foremost New Orleans born. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana. I like to consider myself a warrior mother of two amazing boys and wife to a pretty cool country boy. And I've been in the field of education for approximately 18 years now. I actually started my journey headed to the courtroom, but ended up in the classroom instead. So that's been a fun journey. I am a former college disabilities coordinator, a classroom teacher, a school counselor, and a literacy interventionist. So like many of us, I've worn many hats. I am an academic language therapist, or best known as a dyslexia therapist, and only one of three AET educational therapist in the state of Louisiana. And I currently serve as president at the Center for Literacy and Learning, best known as Plain Talk, and president of the Reading League Louisiana, chair of our Louisiana Literacy Advisory Commission, who's done a number of things to push literacy forward in our state, a member of the Louisiana Special Education Advisory Panel, and the state lead for Decoding Dyslexia Louisiana. So I stay a little busy.
Yes, I would definitely have to say you're very busy, and I just am very excited that you're able to spend some time with us. But wow, what an impressive roadmap that you have. So thank you so much for being here.
Since you'll be joining us for the Choose Resilience Institute, Miss Jackson, will you please give our listeners a little speak into what you'll be presenting in your keynote speech?
Absolutely. I love sneak peeks. So I believe I'm the lunchtime keynote. So I'll have to make sure I capture everyone's attention because I'm sure you all will have delicious food, of which I will not be partaking. But our time together during that lunch keynote will really be focused on reading foundation, literacy, and language as the interconnectivity, and then looking at family engagement as the inclusive arm of this ecosystem of support, and how that all very much so ties into early literacy, and and just bringing all that information to the table. There's only so much you can do in such a short time, but we hope to have a little fun and learn a little bit along the way.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that, and we will totally save you a plate, Miss Jackson.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'd appreciate that. The foodie in me would appreciate that.
we're gonna all be like at the seats, like the end of our seats, like listening in, huh, Elizabeth? So food, what's food is what I was thinking. So, for our next question, what inspired you to choose to be a keynote speaker at the Choose Resilience Institute?
Well, I appreciate and recognize the focus on early childhood and recognizing the strong need for foundational practices, and just looking at, that this would be an amazing opportunity for your attendees to be involved in such, this level of learning. And so it was not a hard decision to choose to be a part of this, and I welcome the invite, and just being back in New Mexico is going to be exciting, and to just share with the folks out there some new learning. So I'm really excited to have had this opportunity.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
And our theme for the Institute, as you know, Miss Jackson, is resilience. Will you please share with us the last time you showed resilience and how it affected your life?
Oh gosh, I'm sure there are many instances in my life, like many others, that I've had to demonstrate resilience, right? By definition, resilience, is just the capacity to withstand or, recover quickly from difficulties. And I feel like That's something we go through every day. Like some difficulty is placed in front of us on a decision by decision basis, right? From, I don't know, my kid leaving his baseball gear and having to pivot and borrow something from someone. That's a recovery, right? Or, being stuck in traffic and having to pivot to a Zoom call instead of an in-person call. I think being, birthed out of COVID has given us a lot of us that resilience and that ability to adjust, adapt, and that pivot word. I think we find resilience in everyday occurrences, and so I think one of my most significant instances of having the opportunity to show resilience was actually, sort of led to my journey here is my law school denials. As a type A, straight line person, there was no backup plan. And so at that time, I needed to pivot and find a new vision and direction for my life. And that's led me here. And so for that, I'm very, very grateful for all of that that became my journey.
I appreciate you sharing that, Miss Jackson. I think many times we don't realize while we're in those times of being uncomfortable and pivoting that when we are resilient and we choose to be resilient, the gifts that can come from that, whether it's external or internal, can be very significant. So thank you so much for sharing your personal resilience with us. And now we like to move to some fun facts. We always ask all of our interviewees some fun fact questions.
And so with that, so just a fun fact that we want to know a little more about you is what is your favorite place to visit?
Y'all, this is not such a fun fact. Your listeners, don't kill the messenger. I love to be home. There's like, it's like Dorothy clicking the heels. There's no place like home. And mind you, home is like a mix of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. So it's not so bad being home. But between the food and the comfort and the family, I can vacation a lot, but I'm ready to go home. So that's my happy place.
Oh, and I love that. And you know what? As I am getting older, that is kind of how I feel too. Like I love being home. I love my home. I love being right here. And so for you to say that, I just appreciate it. And that is really awesome, to know like that is your place where you like to be. And so that's your favorite place. And I think that's the best place that you could have picked.
Absolutely.
All right. And my question is, what would you do if you knew you might fail at something that you really wanted?
Man, what would you do if you knew failure was on the horizon? That's hard,
I
right?
like
Because
to ask the hard questions
your
because
instinct would say, well, don't fail. Like, who wants to be a failure? But I think it's so important and sort of ties into this resilience conversation is that without failure is no resilience. There's no opportunity to be faced with difficulties and then arise from that. So I think if I knew it was coming, my best advice to myself is to do it anyway. Do it anyway. Try anyway, because the lessons that are learned through that failure are invaluable. So that was deep. I like that question.
And I have to tell you, Elizabeth came up with that one. She was right on it, huh, Elizabeth?
well, and I know I used the word fail, but I really like what you said, Miss Jackson, because if you are learning, is it really a failure? And I think that's what we really, for our students who are learning, whether it's early childhood education or at any grade level, if you learn something, was it a failure? So I think
Hmm.
that's a great point to keep in mind. Thank you for reminding us of that.
No, thank you for that question.
Yes. And you know what? I add one more question on the table right now for a fun fact. Tell us, when you come to New Mexico and you come to Albuquerque, is there any like, do you love green chili more? Do you like red chili? Do you like Christmas? Do you like chili at all? We have to know.
I don't know. Like, I feel like answering the question, I love, like, yes, I love chili and it probably lean to green chili. New Mexico's green chili is probably not the green chili I'm used to. So I am excited to try it all. Like you said, just do it. So I love those adventures. And when are you going to have another opportunity? You never know. Like I'm grateful to have a second opportunity, but you never know when it's going to come again. So take advantage of it while you can.
Yes, and you'll love the food that we are serving is what I'm going to tell you because you will have the opportunity to try some chili.
Awesome. Well, good. I keep me some red chili on this, some green chili on the side.
Yes, we will. Well, thank you so much for doing a mini podcast with us today, and we can't wait to share it with all of our participants and listeners. So we hope that everyone really enjoys this one.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Miss Jackson. We really do appreciate your time. And I look forward to chatting with you more at the Choose Resilience Institute. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I can't wait to see you all there.